We're going to continue graphing ellipses. First thing I'm going to do is write it in vertex form. I'm going to write it in vertex form as I'm going to take the x's. I'm going to factor out a 9, and that gives me x squared minus 4x. Now, if I'm looking at the y's, what I notice is that I don't need to factor anything out. So I'm just going to bring down the y's, and I'm going to subtract the 43. Now I'm going to complete the square. So I take the -4, I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to square it. So I have x squared minus 4x plus 4. I'm going to take the 8, I'm going to divide it by 2 and square it. That gives me y squared plus 8y plus 16. And that's equal to -43. 9 times 4 gives me 36. And then I have the 16. Now I'm going to factor. So I have 9x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared. I'm going to take the -43, the 36, and the 16, and that right there is going to give me 9. Now this isn't my radius. Since it's an ellipse, I'm going to set it equal to 1. So I'm going to divide each side by 9. And what that's going to do is it's going to tell me what my major axis is and my minor axis. So if I'm looking at this, this is slightly different than the ones above. The ones above, the major axis was horizontally. In this case right here, it's going to be vertically. So I'm going to move my x-axis and y-axis. I'm going to plot the center of my ellipse, which is 2, -4. So I'm going to go to the right 2. I'm going to go down 4. I'm going to plot my point. When I'm looking at my x's, the square root of 1 is 1. When I'm looking at my y's, the square root of 9 is 3. So if you notice that my major axis is vertically and my minor is horizontally. Now, looking at letter D, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get my x's and y's together. So I have 4x squared minus 8x plus 25y squared minus 150y is equal to, I move the 129 over, so -129. I'm going to factor out a 4, and I get x squared minus 2x. Factor out a 25, and I get y squared minus 6y. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to complete the square. So I'm going to divide by -2. Sorry, I'm going to divide by 2 and then square it, and that gives me 1. I'm going to take the -6 divided by 2, which is -3. I'm going to square it, and that's going to give me 9. Now, whatever I add on one side, I'm going to add the same thing on the other. 4 times 1 is 4. 25 times 9 is 225. So that would be 229. When I factor this, what I get is 4x minus 1 squared, 25y minus 3 squared. And that right there is equal to 100. Now I'm going to set it equal to 1, so I'm going to divide both sides by 100. And that gives me x minus 1 squared over 25. Gives me y minus 3 squared over 4. That's equal to 1. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move my axis over. And I have my center at 1 and 3. So I'm going to plot my point at 1 and 1, 2, 3. For my major axis, the square root of 25 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go a little bit over to make 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then for my minor axis, the square root of 4 is 2. So I go up 2 and I go down.